tonight we have a superb lineup for you. Three of the nicest and most humble players to ever wear an Albion shirt. We have former defender Inigo Calderon, who played for us for 7 seasons. He made over 200 appearances, scored 19 times, once with his face. We have that man from Argentina, the Cyclone. Leo enjoyed 2 spells of the club. He hit 26 goals in his first spell before disappearing to pick up some kind of league title. I'm not really sure about that one. Should have stayed with us, really, shouldn't you? But guess it worked out. And then he did return in 2018 in the Prem. Scored twice, put us ahead at Man City, but sadly, it was Man City, so not a famous goal, unlike the Forest one. And then finally, we have a former Barcelona player who helped Swansea to the Premier League and also played his part, helping us reach 2 playoffs in a row in Andrea Orlandi. I've already asked you all the questions I want, Andrea, so I haven't got much to say to you because we spoke the other week. So
yeah,
I'll wait for
good,
the fans.
Good that you didn't say anything about good that you didn't say anything about my stats. After talking about Calde and Leo, thank you about that.
I have been through your goals. I have edited them so many times. I'm done with them. I'm bored of them. Too much. I've seen that Newcastle goal about 1 million times. I'm done with it.
Thank you.
So obviously, Andrea, I will come to you first. How is your situation where you are? And for people that don't know where you are living at the moment, and how is the kind of lockdown calming down?
Yeah, well, things are slowly getting better. We've been able to get out of the flat in Barcelona. We've been there for more than 70 days. During the lockdown, it's been difficult, especially to keep the girls quiet, and it's been the most challenging thing to keep them busy. And obviously now that we're able to go out, even to go to terraces, have a drink, a coffee, it's like a life changer. Because we're slowly getting back to normality and things are getting better. So luckily, respect to the time we spoke, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we were still in a lockdown. It wasn't looking great, and now it's looking a bit different. So I'm very happy.
And Calde, whereabouts are you, and what's your situation as well?
Yeah, well, the situation here is quite good now. The problem I told you, I think, here in Vitoria, it was one of the worst places at the beginning. And it was not that normal because we are not a big city, but the numbers, they were huge, and there was a big, numbers in here. But now it's getting better. Like Andrea say, we can do nearly a normal life. We have to go with a mask. We have to clean the hands all the time. But at least we can go out to the streets now. Because here in Spain, we couldn't do it. In England, you've been able to do it during all this spell, but here it was more restricted. And to be fair, it was something, I think, it was positive because the numbers they can be much better. So now we start to see the light, and hopefully it's going for always.
So Leo, I'm going to move on to football matters as my first question to you. I made a joke about it at the start, but moving to Leicester, did you ever think that move would end up with a Premier League title?
Yeah, that was that moment. That moment was so difficult for me, and especially when we went in Spain for the pre-season, and I have to make the decision in that moment, no? And was difficult, but was good for me, and I think good for the Brighton as well, but because the money was good. And now for me and for my career was very good, and after the next year, it was so hard for us, and we fighting for the relegation and until the end. But after that, next season was really good, and I enjoyed the 4 years in there, and with all the group and the people in there and the fans as well. Was a really nice experience for me.
Now, all 3 of you have left Albion at different times, and it seems that you are all still very close. How much do you 3 still talk?
Can I talk?
You can if you want. Yes.
we have a group, us three. Well, we have a group, all the Spanish boys, and then we have another group, me, Leo, and Calde, where those two usually, tend to get stick to me. They're trying to, they tend to take the mick out of me, but just to keep them, I just keep strong because those two are a bit naughty with me. But we keep contact. We've been in contact since we played together with Calde. The relationship we've got. And then when Leo came and signed for us, it was one of us straight away. It's not like just a friend, more than that. Surely more than a teammate. And obviously, since we played together, we've been in contact. And you asked him about the Leicester thing. It was unreal what they achieved at Leicester winning the Premier League title. But he's always been the same Leo. Even though he's a Premier League winner, you can see he's still a humble guy, still the same guy, and down to earth, and this is why we keep in contact. We love each other, amigo.
Yeah, I think Andrea said very good. I think Brighton was something that happened to all the Spanish we were in there. But I will say even before, with Gary Vicker, Ashley Barnes, even before with Gas Times, we create something really, really special, not just on the pitch, as well off the pitch. And that is going to be always for us. And obviously, us being like Spanish, or Leo was Argentinian but speaking Spanish, we create something really, really important. When you are that far from your house, create that kind of family. For us, it's going to be always special, Brighton, because as soon as you say that, just the name, we are remember all these families we have in there. So we're not going to be always something to have in mind, and we always talk to go back there, to have and meet us in there, because it's going to be easier, and for sure we will do it soon.
Well, Leo's already come back once. Andrea, Calde, you must be due a return of some sort. You see so many players come back. How much would you three like to have a role at this club one day in the future?
Who's going to answer first?
Well, I'm waiting for the call. I have my pro license on already. I have my CV ready. No, it's something that I have in mind, and I talk with them, and I always say that I think, I don't know when and how, but I think I'm gonna go back. I would like to coach in there. It's something, obviously, then I was there 7 years, and now my memories, they are good memories in there. So I think I have, and I always say even to my friends that in England, being a coach, I think I have more chances to success than in Spain, because I am different. Here in Spain, I am one more, But in England, I will be one, maybe a bit different. And I think I can do it all right in there. So I just waiting the call, and hopefully I can go there.
Adam, I'm just waiting for Calde to become the manager, and then I'll be there in his stuff. This is what I'm waiting for.
Can I come back there?
That's the pack.
After we go back. No, but for me, the second chapter was different than the first day. When I arrived there, it was much better, because they went there, and that was so different for me. But I like Brighton. I really like to come back there with them as well, and enjoy the time and enjoy the people as well. And instead to watch some games and to do something with the people in Brighton.
And if Calde takes over as a manager, he will need some pretty faces there in the staff. So that's why.
Seriously, listen, we have to stay with this guy or not.
Hey, don't put on the pressure.
You guys, all three of you are hugely popular. One of the reasons we're doing this is because of your popularity. But let's all be honest, Bruno has surpassed it. He's the king now, isn't he? You will have to look up.
He's the king, yes. He's the king. That's why Calde is trying to get bold as well.
Now the second one.
This is the last one. This is the last one. Sorry, I'll stop.
We have to talk about my car, and that's it. Listen, I tried. He has already a paint in a wall. When I went to Brighton, I tried to paint my face in there, but there was the police coming, and they said, "What are you doing?" I have to go back home. So it was my.
They're waiting.
But in all seriousness, Bruno has taken on this kind of huge popularity, and he is still there. You're talking about wanting to come back. Maybe maybe grab onto him. Maybe he's the one you need to get in. He can be the manager.
Well, we're still in contact with Bruno as well. I think all of us, not only in the WhatsApp group we got, but individually, I'll still speak to him a lot. And he's a great guy, a fantastic person, fantastic player as well. So he deserves the popularity he got from the Albion fans. So I was only joking that we were kind of jealous of it. And I think that his painting looks good. I'm not sure if ours would do so. And if we have to ask Bruno, for a hand to get us back to Brighton, we will do it. Don't worry.
So we've got a few hands up, and we'll go to our first question in a second. I've got one that's been written in, so I'm just going to try and load that up to find that question. So it's from Damien Hills, and it says, if you could relive one moment from your Albion days, what moment would it be? So, Leo, we'll start with you. If you could relive one Albion moment, what would you pick?
Yeah, that moment was Nottingham Forest goal. That moment was so special for us and for the club as well. And I have in my memory that I enjoy many times in Brighton and different memories, but that was the special one for me.
Calde?
Well, I think probably this one as well. If it's with all these players that I told you before, the Spanish contention, obviously the Forest game is something really, really special. When you see now in YouTube or whatever, you feel something really, really special. But for me, even before that, I will say the spell between the game against Dagenham and the first game against Doncaster, all that spell, when we got the promotion and waiting to start the new season at the Amex and winning the game at the last minute. I think that spell of 2-3 months is something really, really special, because I think for Brighton was so important, to start the new season in a new division at the Amex was like perfect, just perfect.
Andrea, I think we spoke about that the other day.
I think for me was the Newcastle day because of the goal, and I think that everything started to change for me in a better way. But as a group, because Leo and Calde mentioned the Nottingham Forest day that was very special, I will say the win against Palace at home with some fantastic goals. The third, I think that all three of us were involved in it. Where Calde started on the right, and then there was a cross from Liam. I had the ball into Leo, and Leo scored. So I think that was a very special moment. I remember celebrating that goal together, like winning 3-0 against them at the Amex. And after that game, I really thought that we were going to get promoted because we absolutely destroyed them. And unfortunately, we couldn't do it. But I think that was a very special moment.
Yeah, we'll move on from that. We won't talk about that tonight. We've spoken about that before. That's enough. I'm a bit offended that scoring a winner against Newcastle is your highlight and not me coming to your house to film. But
hey, amigo, you know what happened later? It was the only game I didn't play. The day you came to my house.
True.
We made the whole piece about you, and you didn't even play
because guys knew that. That's why.
But we did get a lift in your car, Calde, which was mentioned.
Oh, it's my car, yes. We did the combo. We did my hair. We did the car. What is the other one?
I had to bring it up. They brought it up last week. So
listen. Yesterday, in fact, I was looking on the internet if I could find one of these.
I actually liked it. I think I'm in the minority.
It was good.
All right.
Good leather seats.
We have our first question, and it is from. It isn't Jane Wright.
It's Raymond Wright. Hi, guys. When you first all started playing together, when Leonardo arrived at the beginning of 13, there was a very strong Spanish contingent, apart from the Spanish-speaking contingent, I should say. Not just the three of you, but there was David Lopez, and there was Bruno and Vicente. Question really sort of two sides to it. who was the greatest fun player amongst that group from each of you playing with from the Spanish speakers, and who was the person you most enjoyed playing with who was not amongst the Spanish speakers, amongst the players that you played with that season and a half you all had together?
Good question.
Need an answer though.
No, so I would say the funny one, probably in the Spanish contention, I would say David Lopez. He was always joking, singing. And the problem was he was involved with Andrea, was something like it was too much. Obviously, it was too much. They like to sing on the shower, and it was something like we have to try to stop them. But it was really, every time it was like a happy birthday song, they were starting to sing in the shower. It was like something that you didn't want to go. You try to avoid going to the shower, like in jail, because they were singing in the shower.
I'll go for.
First, David.
Go, Leo. Go. Sorry.
He seems to.
Leo, come back. Leo.
Of the non-Spanish speakers,
the funniest.
There were a few. Non-Spanish one, probably I would say Ashley Barnes, Gary Vicker, Kasenga was funny as well. Yeah. There were a couple that make us, well, obviously Charlie Otway. It was really, like I told you before, it was off the pitch. We create something really, really special, and sometimes that comes after. No, sometimes no. Always it comes after success as well on the pitch.
I think that from the Spanish guys, obviously David Lopez, as Calde says, was my partner in crime. We were a little bit busy. I have to say. In the dressing room, I remember Gigi. He wasn't very happy with our performances, especially in the shower. Gordon Greer,
Matty
Upson as well. But from the British guys, there were lots of them very funny. All great guys. Adam Elab was very funny for me. Ashley Barnes was so funny because sometimes I don't know if he was actually pretending, but most of the times he wouldn't understand a word of what we were talking about or what Gus was trying to say in training or was trying to explain, and that made him a lot funny. So it was a fantastic group. It was a really good group. And about the question you said about enjoying playing with someone, I think that for my position, especially the first season when I played with Wayne Bridge, because not being a proper winger, having a fullback that was going up and down all the time gave me a lot of freedom to get inside on the pitch, and I really enjoyed playing with Wayne Bridge.
Good. And I remember Leonardo, I think it must have been your first goal for the Albion, was actually a very good cross against which you scored from against Arsenal in the Cup.
That's true.
I put a nice cross, and I could head out the goal in there. And that was that moment was special as well for me, because it was the first goal in the cup against Arsenal, and that was nice game, and it was special for me as well.
That's fun. And your comments on Vicente, all three of you. He seems to be a very talented player.
Vicente was really funny as well.
He was.
Vicente used to sit next to me on the bus, and because we used to call him the king, I used to make the coffee for him. So I always had to put more sugar and milk just to make it perfect for the king. Every time he sat, sorry, I got some dogs barking here. I'm really sorry. Every time he sat on a chair, we used to call it the throne, and he loved it. And he was a very funny guy to have in the dressing room. And as a player, he was outstanding. I mean, one of the best players I played with, and it was just incredible. It was by the end of his career, so I don't know. He was special at the time, so I don't want to imagine. I don't want to imagine what he was when he was at the peak of his career. Just one of the best wingers in Europe, and a fantastic player.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys, for answering those questions, and stay safe. And thank you.
Thank you.
I think Andrea's dogs have got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
This guy, seriously.
He works in TV as well.
I know.
There's over the years, obviously, there's been a lot of talk about what bringing in players from overseas has brought to the game, whether that be around diet or tactics or the technical side of it. But I just wondered, from your point of view, the three of you, was there anything that you feel that you got from the British game, playing football in Britain, that maybe enhanced your game?
Calde, do you want to go first?
Well, I think I came in League One. We were in a relegation battle as well. So I think coming from Spain, it was like I was a fullback, and probably was a bit different. And I connect as well really, really quick with the idea I got from in the game. It was really important. I think all the Spanish, obviously, when you need to go somewhere where the manager obviously wants you, because I think there's a culture of buying players from Spain, for example, but after the manager doesn't like the Spanish players, that happens, So for me, England always I wanted to play in England because of the passion of the game. Like you are winning 1-0, 2-0, and you don't go defend. You want to score the third goal and the fourth goal. And for me, that's something I take. The respect I take. Don't cheat at all. It's something I really like a lot. Here in Spain now, we are happy that we have the bar. And now people stop dying. In the box. And in England, it's not that common because you just cheat. They are gonna call you, even the home fans. And that's something I take from England. I think it's really, really important. That models you have in there is really, really important, because then for me, the sport should be a role model for kids, and in England is better than in Spain for sure.
And Leo?
He dies. You cheat on the box.
By the way, I've definitely 100% seen Calde take a couple of tumbles.
Well, listen. I just watched a game a few weeks back, and it was, amigo. You're talking about not diving, and
when? When?
Against Palace, for example. I remember one against Palace. Embarrassing.
Fucking Zaha, yellow card.
Playoff.
Yes.
Oh.
Leo, what did you pick up? To answer Andy's question, what did you pick up from the British game? Anything you learnt over here?
Leo, is there?
Sí, ¿qué te llevaste del fútbol inglés?
No, pensé que le estaba hablando a Andrea.
Aparte de todo el dinero.
Speaking to Andrea. No, that was, it's the same like Calde, when the manager wants you and you arrive to the club and they give to you and more confident and different things, and the guys and give to me a lot confident, and the passion with the people have in the stadium and all of before and in the game as well. I feel so different, This is what he said. You can lose the game or win the game, and you continue to play the same. You don't change nothing, and that is so different than Spain or than Argentina. I like that. You always have. I am a striker. You always has a counter-attack or some chance to score a goal. That is so different in other countries here in Spain. And in Argentina as well, but I really like England football for that. It's special for this, for the intensity, for the training, for how they think before and after the game as well.
Andrea?
Well, I took a lot from the English game. Obviously, love and respect for the game first. On a fitness point of view, I had to improve a lot. I would say dramatically when I first came to Swansea from Barcelona. I had to put more weight on and actually adapt to a way of playing that was very different. All transitions where you don't have time to breathe and relax, and that was very different to what I used to do in in Spain. So I had to adapt myself to that type of football, and I loved it since. And I remember when we played against Spanish teams in pre-season, you could see them struggling against us. They were probably better technically, but they didn't have that up and down, that box-to-box football, that intensity that we could bring into the game. So I think that this is something that I learned, and once you learn it and you start to love it, you embrace it. So this is one of the things I take from England. Obviously, the atmosphere, the fans, and the organization, and everything else as well. But from a football point of view, this is what I take from England.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Andy,
Thank
thanks
you.
for the question. There's another question coming shortly. There is a personal message for you, Calde, from Mel Green, who says hello.
Hello. How are you, Mel?
It's Alex Jones is up next, so far away, Alex.
Hey guys, thanks for the stories. In particular, that game against Nottingham Forest. I'll be honest, I was pretty pessimistic, and as the game went on, I thought it's over, no chance. Did you guys believe up until the end that you were going to get that goal and make it into the playoffs?
Well, when Andrea came off, we thought we had a chance. No, to be fair, when you're on the pitch, you don't think that much. But yeah, I want to say that yes, we believe we could do it, because I know it's something that you have. Sometimes you think you don't have a chance, like you say. But I think how we approach the game and how we start the game was something that we could do it. And obviously after the goal with that when you see the goal, you think you say, okay, this team believes in that, because obviously Craig McAllister-Smith crossing from the left, casting on it's not normal, and obviously Leo's playing the ball, yeah. But these things is because you don't think at all in tactics. You don't think anything more than okay, yes, we have to find the way, and Maca find the way. Obviously Andrea just put the ball in at the back of the net. It was easy, but it was good.
Yeah, but that is what we are speaking before. It's like the English football. You have to believe and you have to fight in the end, and that's it's so nice to the English football. You always fighting to find the game is different, and we believe. Yes, we believe, but we don't care for us because we don't have nothing to lose, and we have to win everything and just push to them and try to score a goal.
Andrea doesn't think the same.
Andrea agree. Andrea
is with the dogs.
Listen, this guy, he's killing the show. He's killing the show. Seriously.
Leo, did you?
Sorry, I just closed the dogs in, man. But they were killing me. Sorry.
Leo, did you realise that? I know we didn't get promoted off the back of those playoffs, but did you realise when you scored it how immensely popular that goal was going to remain? Because that is still one of people's favourite moments, and we've been promoted to the Premier League since then.
No, well, for me, no. I didn't think about that, But now when I watching in YouTube or what the people remember, that is the special one, It's a special one. But in that moment, we didn't think. But I don't know. In my case, I didn't think about that.
Cheers for your. Have you got another question, Alex, or is it just that one?
No, that's all good. Thanks.
All right. Thanks very much for your question.
Thank you, Alex.
We have Russell next. Fire away, Russell.
Hi guys, thanks for having this forum. It's brilliant. Got a couple of things. Firstly, the Amex seems at its best to be a really good stadium for atmosphere-wise. What was your view of it? A question for each of the three of you. And how did it compare to your home nations playing football there? And if I could be permitted a supplementary question, I also wanted to ask, who was best out of the three of you in training?
Can I go first? Well, I have to leave before.
Go for it, yeah.
Yes. Best in training, me by a mile.
In training, yes.
In training.
And after
Leo, you were a game player. Come on.
that the people says, every training say like that.
But this is when it counts, the games. So you were a game player, okay? So it's between me and Calde. And about the Amex, I remember the first time I drove to Brighton, and as I was driving past the stadium, I was wow, I was shocked. And Calde was waiting for me the day I went there to sign my contract for Brighton. When they showed me around, it was amazing. And they said, wait, because we've got a special game coming up against Sheffield Wednesday. This is when I made my debut at the Amex, and the atmosphere was unreal. It was fantastic. Not only the stadium is nice, but the fans are loud, the fans are supportive, they give you everything. And comparing to Spain or in Italy where I played, or in different places where I played, you can't compare it. I mean, the British fans, in my case, the Brighton fans are different gravy. It's just unreal, and they make you give more than what you got, and they make you a better player than what you actually are. So, forever grateful for your support. It was an honor to play for you and in front of you at the Amex.
Brilliant. Yep. What about the others?
Well,
do they enjoy that too?
Obviously, coming from the within, the Amex was playing like in Wembley, And I have to say that in my team here in Alaves, the stadium is quite English. It's a stadium, like a square one, quite packed all the time, quite noisy all the time. And to be fair, there was a moment at the Amex, like I think at the first season, people was too comfortable, because you were in there, you were like sitting in there, like in the cinema and the theater, And I would like to see the Amex when the noise, for example, I always say, the support when we play away, it was even better, like, 4,000 people in London. Sometimes I prefer to play in London because all these 4,000, they were all the time singing, And the problem when you are at the Amex, you are at home, and you are a bit more relaxed, I would like to see, at the Amex with all the same noise that you create when you are playing away, but obviously it's at home and you feel so good. But like I say, coming from within was so nice, It was just like I said before, it was a dream come true playing there. Something really, really special. Now when I see just pictures in my laptop or whatever, it's like feeling wow, I play in there, So it was amazing.
Excellent. Leo.
Now, for me as well, when I arrived to the Amex, was so nice, when I say this stadium is like a Premier League, because it was quite new. We have all of things to the Premier League, and that was different when I went to training in the university. There was a little different, and they first showed me the stadium, and after we have to train in the other side, and the other side was terrible. And but I enjoy all the time to play in Amex because the fans and the people there was so nice to the atmosphere every games, And that was a little different. And after now with the new training ground was completely and the big club.
And speaking of going in the away ends in London, it was good to see you at White Hart Lane in the away end, Leo. I can't remember it was the cup game, wasn't it? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. But thanks, guys.
Here's Russell. And talking about noise from fans, didn't you cause on earth like a mini tremor when you scored for Leicester, Leo? Didn't you cause like a mini earthquake or a tremor when you scored for Leicester because of the crowd noise? Have you not heard about this?
Really?
Yeah, that was the little one because some students there are to do and some studio about this, and I make the score to again Norwich, and the last minute, and that was some noise and different things in there in the stadium, and the next day in the newspaper, and they put all of like this, but they say it was Bardi. And that was my goal. But the English people had put like this, but it was that goal, yeah, because it was in the last minutes that was important 3 points for us.
I did want to ask you, Fareed, I don't know where the nickname came from, but it's classed as potable. So the style that Albion now play. I want to ask each of you how much you've seen of it, and do you think it looks like a system you would have enjoyed to play in? Calde, I'll go to you first.
Well, I like the style. I like the way they start with a system, and if it doesn't work, they change. And it's something that I would like to implement to my team, for example. Okay, to be flexible and to have the players to adapt to play different systems. I think that gives you a better chance to win games. But to be fair, I think for that you need time. I think it was the first season, and you need time because you need to the players to understand to play in different positions, different roles, different systems. So, but I like the approach he does to the games. I think there's still big room to improve. But yeah, it's something positive, something new, and I like that.
Andrea?
Yeah, I think Adam, we spoke about it. I think that it's a way of playing that I really like. Obviously, if you ask about seeing myself in that system, it would be more in a central role in the midfield. But as Calde said, you need time. You need time, especially when you're playing in the best league in the world. Games come thick and fast. That they are very difficult. You need results as well, and obviously it's. I think the Albion are in a transition now to where they were under Chris Hutton and now under Potter. So he needs time. I think that he is a great manager. I've seen some of the games, and in some of the games the Albion played really well. So I just think it's a matter of time before they start, winning and to get to be ambitious and aim for better places in the league and for higher stakes.
And Leo, how about you? Is this a style you like?
To be honest, I couldn't watch too many games, but I watched some games. But yes, it's what they say. They are in transition now. The last the Christian Houston and the new manager, but they are in the good way, and they have to improve a little more. But we know it's so difficult to the Premier League, and always you have a different game, different players now, and they have to adaptation the new system and the new tactic, everything. But I think they are in a good way, and they could do the final and to save the relegation.
And Andrea, you said it there, and I hear it all the time over here because I live in England, I work in English football, that the Premier League is the best league in the world. But you all three of you are very well connected in La Liga. So is that the view in Spain, that the Premier League is the best league in the world? And do you agree that the Premier League is the best league in the world?
Well, I think that both La Liga and the Premier League are the best leagues in the world.
Thanks, his tune.
No, and I said that the Premier League. I think that La Liga is trying not to copy, but to take lots of things that the Premier League are doing right. And I think that the chairman here, Tebas, is trying to actually try to bring, one guy before asked us what we took from the English football. But La Liga are trying to get a lot of things from England back to Spain. In Spain, we've got quality. We've got plenty of quality and probably more tactical work. In England, you get excitement. You get more chances, more goals. And then it's about, finding the right balance. If I have to choose, I'd probably watch any Premier League game. And I'm not going to be fair now because I work for La Liga. But, I wouldn't watch every La Liga game. I don't know if I make myself clear. You get from any game in the Premier League, you get entertainment. In La Liga, it's a little bit more different. Games are a little bit more tactical, whereas in England, and they just go for it. They just go for it and try to get, the 3 points. And you never know what's going to happen until it's the 90th minute. So I think that this is entertainment. This is why I think the Premier League is the best league in the world.
Calde?
Yeah, I think probably the two top teams in Spain, Barcelona and Madrid, probably even if they haven't won the last Champions League, for me they are a bit ahead of the Premier League, the English ones. But like it's the championship itself, I think it's better the Premiership by really, really far. I think just because every weekend you have, like Andrea said, you have 2, 3, 4 games that really deserve you to be, in the sofa watching the game. In Spain, you have the Clásico, and after I like to watch Barcelona because I like Barcelona, or Alaves because of my team. But other than that, you don't really watch them, you don't have the plan, okay, tonight we are going to watch the game. No, maybe it's not TV, you watch it because it's green on the TV, but otherwise don't. But in England, like Andrea say, every game, even the ones because every team, can win each other, so it's really, really important. And here in Spain, the Barcelona, they are going to win 95% of the games. And it's sometimes, Andrea said tactical, for me, sometimes it's both, Yeah, you can learn a lot of tactical things, but it's in England, you also, he said entertainment, that's a show. You want to watch the game, doesn't matter, you support the team, you like to watch that show.
I happen to think that Vicente Rodriguez is a wonderful, wonderful player, but he didn't seem to get enough playing time under Gus. Was that because there was a problem between them, or was it Vicente's fitness? I don't know. I'd like to have seen him play a lot more than he did.
Well, for sure there was not a problem between them, like a personal problem. I mean, Gus is not stupid, for sure. And he could see him playing and train, especially training, because Andrea say, we train with him, and for me, he's been the best player I play against in the training session and with. And he was probably at his 50% of his level, his real level. Obviously, he was, like Andrea said, in the end of his career, he was with long injuries, and that doesn't help. But it was not something personal, for sure. And there was, I think I said in the last interview we did, every time Vicente was on the pitch, I don't know why we couldn't win the game. So because Gus told me that stats, I couldn't believe that, because I was playing with Vicente, and I would play him all the way, because for me it was too good, But sometimes these things happen, and you see, he was that good that I always pick him, because he was really, really good. But it was nothing, like I have to make clear, it was nothing personal of that. It was just probably tactical decisions, and probably because Gus thought that he couldn't play 90 minutes. You have to think as well that Vicente, his normal position where he played the 90% of his career was in the left side, like as a left winger. He was playing in midfielder just to try to adapt his game, and he did, because he was that good. But apart of that, I don't think he was listen, it was too good. It was nonsense to think there was something behind of that.
I thought he was wonderful.
I understand that you wanted to see more of Vicente as a good football fan, but as Calde said, there were no problems between him and Gus. It was I think it was more like a tactical thing. Managers tend to find the right balance within the team, and Gus probably thought that with Vicente on the pitch there was something missing. I would play him every single game. He wasn't at his best physically as well, so he was out for long spells with different injuries. But it wasn't like a case of egos or anything like that, because Vicente was really down to earth, even though he was an outstanding player. And Gus is a very intelligent person, so he knew that he was our best player. So he tried to play him, as much as he could, and he thought that he did well with Vicente. Obviously, I understand that as a fan you wanted to see more of him, and we would have loved to play more with him as well.
Yeah, thank you. I thought he was a terrific player. Very, very good.
Thanks for your question. Graham Tate is waiting. Graham, fire away.
Hi, chaps. Nice to see you all.
Hi, Graham.
Yeah, I for one feel that going back to Vicente, he was the best player I've ever seen play for Brighton, and I've been watching since 1955. So quite a long time. Not necessarily the most influential player, but certainly the best player I've ever seen play in a Brighton shirt. But my question is, how How do you guys feel the Spanish referees hold up against the English referees?
Who's going to take that one first?
Hey, hi.
Right.
To be honest, I want to come back to play there.
He's always booked.
Yeah, but
Yes, because
Leo,
here I can. Hey,
you remember when you first came?
yes, to watch the ball.
Yeah, Leo, when he first came to England, they used to give him fouls against all the time because as the ball was traveling, he used to look at the defender just to protect himself, and he was bullied by the defender, and then the referee would give the foul against him, and he was looking at me like, what is this guy doing? Why is this happening? So I had to go and speak to the referee, and he said, no, if he keeps looking at the defender, I will give the foul against him. Leo, so I had to explain him, and it took him a few games, but after that, he was on it. Sorry, Leo, just keep going.
No, that was true, and that was, and minimum than 3-4 games to try to think about that, because the first things when I saw the ball is to looking for where is the defender, and that's the normally for me. But after that was much better, and I tried to learn quick and to improve that. But now I am playing in Spain, and I looking like this. That's always is a foul. Always is foul. Not just this. If he touch the defender or defender touch me, it's always foul. And for that, I prefer to play in England. About the referee, I have now a 9 yellow card and 1 red card. It's incredible. I have the more fouls in the league. I think in the second division. That's it's crazy.
Well, for me, I think I prefer usually the English ones much more than the Spanish ones, mainly because you can, play on. Like say, play on. Everything is play on in there, so you can follow the game more. It's quicker. That's why it's more. Even towards the game, like before, it's better to watch the English game because the game is going on more than in Spain. The only thing I don't like in the English referees is that 50-50 tackles. When you crash just with another guy, and for me, like just throw a coin and they say, okay, maybe it can be no foul, maybe it can be a red card, and that red card means three games off. So that thing, I think that they should change that, because sometimes it's really, really dangerous, and that just depends of the reaction of the player and the reaction of the fans. They just react and say if it's red card or it's not even a foul, And that tackles, I think they should have a look of that. Apart of that, I love the English referees.
Well, when I was in Spain, I didn't have a great relationship with referees. They used to be very, very arrogant with me. I don't know why. In England, that relationship improved. And obviously what Leo and Calde said, the tempo of the game is much higher because they don't give cheap fouls as they do in Spain. So if I have to compare them, I prefer the type of refereeing that we see in England compared to the Spanish one.
Thanks for your question, Graham. We're going to have to quickly jump over to Roger now because we're nearly out of time. Roger, before you ask your question, just a little heads up for Calde, Andrea and Leo. We have a special guest coming on after Roger's question. So I won't ruin it.
Vicente or Gas.
I couldn't get Vicente to do an interview when he was here. Roger, go ahead. Ask your question.
Yeah, thanks for coming back to me. Just a quick one to do with money. Given the adverse effects of the virus on all clubs' finances, what do you think will be the main way that they will save money for going into the future now, both in the UK and across Europe, whatever? How will clubs, what will be the main thing they'll focus on, do you think, to save money, assuming that's what they need to do?
Well, they'll need to look at their own academy to start with. Probably try to use more of their players, the players they have in the under-23s, under-18s, and in the youth system. I think that this is probably the first thing the clubs will look at. And then, I don't know, I'm not in charge of a football club at the moment, and it looks difficult to me from outside. But if I have to say something, I think that probably clubs will have to look at their own players, the players that've been going through the youth ranks, growing under their academies and knowing what the club's all about, because they've been playing there for a long time. So I think that this is probably the first thing they look at.
Yeah, for me, I think they have just to stop spending that much money in transfers. I think the money they spend in England is just crazy, especially in England. Because even the teams in Europe, they know that as soon as an English team comes to the bid, they just increase the price a lot, and it's something that you cannot afford. I think with the money you make in a transfer, you can pay really good money to your players, so you are just saving money. That's, for me, that's really just key. And as soon as they start to say, okay, 20 million is crazy for this player. It's a championship player, we cannot pay 20 million. So next time they will ask 15, and next time 12, and then the easiest way to save money, because then the wages of the players, obviously, they are high because they generate this amount of money, But the transfer, for me, when I see, the numbers of the transfer money, I just get crazy. And I think it's something cultural in England, because the transfer line, the transfer day in England is crazy. Everybody's expecting, the helicopters or the planes coming to the training ground just to make the show bigger. And that's looks like you spend more money, you are the best club. For me, that money is bad spent, because there are a lot of good players in Europe, in the South America. If you do things right, you don't need to spend that much money at the end of the day.
He's your step.
No, I don't see him. Where is he?
I cannot see him.
You gotta see
him. There he is.
I don't see him. Where is
the micro.
Gibbo!
All right, Gibbo.
Well?
Oh, man. I feel better now.
Not as good as you.
I thought I would just say hello to my 3 Spanish favourite players. Look what the lockdown has done.
Yes. You look much better, my friend.
For those that don't know, Stephen is the Albion player liaison.
Well, more or less.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes if Calde's not interfering, yeah.
I'm hoping that Leo comes back, because he kind of became like a son to you when he joined.
Well, twice as well. I could tell you about the time I had to get out the car he got presented with when he won the Premier League. He gave me a lift in it, and it was so low down and I was so fat. He had to come round and lift me out of it. It was so bad.
Listen, you were in the movies as well, in the awards. We did a dinner awards. He was in the movies, Steve Gibbo.
Oh, yeah, that was... Listen, I watched it back like 2 weeks ago. That was embarrassing.
Well, I've not seen it, so I'm going to watch it tomorrow. All right?
Listen, one more, Gibbo. I have the only operation I have in my career was in Brighton. I have a small operation in my knee.
In London, that's right.
Yes, I went with Gibbo. And the worst moment of all this operation was going back from London to Brighton with Gibbon. Oh my God, in the car, my friend, trust me.
But the Calde, no one told me I had to pass my test to drive a car.
Wow.
Just good to see. It's a shame Leo's not there. I'm glad he's not there, because he'll probably get me a few jobs to do.
Yes, you're right.
City. So Gibbo, I think it's best we go without seeing him, all right?
Gibbo, if you're not going to go yet, I wanted you to answer which one of these 3 was the biggest pain to deal with.
Well,
he's not here anymore. He's not here anymore.
He's still... He'd left the club, and I was still trying to sell his car. I think he had another 3 football clubs, and I was still trying to sell it. So I'm glad he's not there, because he'll probably get me to sell a couple more, and that was a pain in the bum. But I love him dearly. All right. All right. I'll see you soon. I'll get this haircut for next time. All right.
It's a good idea for Calde. Good haircut.
Yes. See you soon. All right.
See you.
thank you very much for your time. Thank you to everyone that's asked all the questions. This is the last one of these for the time being. But if we do another one, we will keep you posted. Calde, Andrea, lovely to see you. Lovely to talk to you. I'm sure we'll talk again soon. And once Bruno takes over in however many years' time, look forward to your new coaching roles.
Okay. Good, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and sorry about the dogs, man. I couldn't do anything.
Stayed on the call. Leo disappeared.
Yeah, that was even worse.
That's worse. Thanks very much.
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.